introduce your restaurant? How do you describe Cumbia to somebody who's hearing about it for the first time?
Okay, I can start. So Cumbia's is a tapas bar inspired by Latino street food and drinks. Our flavor comes from inspirations from different countries like Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Spain as well.
Hey there, Omaha. Welcome into another episode of Restaurant Hoppen. I'm your host, Dan Hoppen, and I don't want to start any podcast on a sour note, but I promise I'll turn it around here. There was a restaurant that closed a couple years ago that was called The Hunger Block, and I absolutely loved this restaurant. They served wonderful Latin American food. Their Cubano was elite, but it closed. And I feel like I've been chasing those flavors and chasing those dishes for years. And it turns out there is another restaurant in Omaha that is serving something, I mean, not identical, but still something where I'm getting those same flavors again. And when I visited Cumbia and I had it for the first time, I was like, yes, this is it. And I was so excited. Could not wait to go back and couldn't wait to meet and talk to the owners who I have on the show today. I've got Juan Sanchez and Andrea Macias. Guys, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So before we even get into it, if somebody is listening or watching this and they've never heard about Cumbia, that this is their first introduction to it, I would love you guys to be able to introduce your restaurant. How do you describe Cumbia to somebody who's hearing about it for the first time?
Okay, I can start. So Cumbia's is a tapas bar inspired by Latino street food and drinks. Our flavor comes from inspirations from different countries like Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Spain as well. We are originally from Colombia, but it's not a Colombian place. So just to set up expectations, because we've had some customers expecting something very traditional from Colombia, for example, bandeja paisa. It's a mix with beans and rice and like a full meal. And unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to develop a dish like that in our kitchen. We love to, but we can't. So we have small samples from different countries. What would you say?
Yeah, well, basically, this is kind of romantic on the side, and Cumbia is us. Like for us, it's more a reflection of what we are. So we love food, we love cooking, we love entertaining, we love hosting, and I think even from the music to the drinks to the food, it's a reflection of what we do in our home, what we do with our friends. We have had quite a couple experiences in the past back at home in Colombia with restaurants, and what we try to do with Cumbia, like a Cumbia, it's a musical rhythm originally from actually started like more into Central America, but it's like well known that as a completely origin from Colombia, like with slavery, with sugarcane plantations and everything, and they got mixed with the indigenous. Then it started getting replicated in every country
from Mexico
down to Argentina. So each country has cumbia. So that's where the name cumbia came from. It's the only thing that we find was completely common to all the countries. So what we do with cumbia, it's we use mainly street food dishes or quite like a fast type of food that we can combine with flavors from Peru, from Argentina, from Venezuela, from Brazil, Colombia as well, Ecuador. Like we are just trying to keep that mix ongoing. And something really close to our culture is the sharing. So tapas are meant to be shared. Like you'll have a certain amount of, like a generous amount of dishes in your plate, in your table, and you are just sharing and taking bites from your friend or whoever is with you, so you can just be having like a familiar experience. So for us, cumbia, it's more about the experience than just the flavor. It's like it's all combined. It's the ambience, it's our motto has actually traveled through us. So we're just trying to have people traveling through us out of Nebraska, out of Omaha, and just have some hint of what South America is for us, the remembrance of the colors of the plants, of the nature, of the flavors themselves, the music. And we were just trying to combine all that in one place.
And you do that through the food, through the ambiance, through the drinks, through the music. I mean, it is, you step off the streets, you're just in drab downtown Omaha, and it's just like gray concrete everywhere. You step inside Cumbia, it's like did I just get teleported somewhere else? Like, it's wild. We'll get into the design. I want to talk about that, but I want to talk about tapas real quick first, because you guys both touched on that. There are not a lot of restaurants in Omaha doing tapas. In fact, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. There might be one or two out there that I just don't know about. It's such an interesting concept for the Midwest palate, because as Midwesterners, we're so used to having, like, you know, the classic, you know, giant piece of meat, and then we've got our starch, and we've got our veg, and that's our meal. And maybe we share some bread or something, but, like, everybody has an entree. You share appetizers, maybe you share dessert. But tapas is you share everything. You look at the menu, you pick out 6 or 7 things, a bunch of small plates come out, and everybody gets a taste of everything.
Yep.
As you guys were designing this restaurant, especially kind of knowing what this climate is like, what made you say tapas? That's going to be the tentpole at which we build this thing around.
So what we are bringing is something new to the community, right?
Yes.
And we wanted everybody to experience a little bit of everything. So if we develop a dish that is bigger, you may order only one, right? And yes, you might come back, but isn't that better if you, on one step, you just try different flavors at the same time? What we want is people to experience as much as they can in one visit.
I think that's one of the things, and the other one is like our kitchen is not too big, right? So we have to be creative in the way to handle inventory, in the way to handle processed dishes, like the things we have already cooked, and we don't really have much storage space. So one of the ways to keep that rotation faster, that people can get fresher product, and it's for us to give them the experience of have a small amounts of the food, and you can just share. And we something we try to do as a couple is we tend to or try to travel a lot, and one of the things we have found throughout different restaurants throughout the country and even throughout the world is like the higher end on the concept, the less amount of food you have, and it's because you want to try more and you don't want to be full stuffed of just one thing. So we are just trying to, I think we are trying to offer a good product itself. Like we're just trying to give people something that they will remember as something good, and we want them to remember all. Like so, that's why we rotate the menu every 6 months ish. Like we're trying to do it twice a year, or we started like doing it 3 times a year, but it's quite complex. So you're gonna stay probably into two times a year, but we are just trying the people to have the opportunity to try as much as they can when they come and they say, I'm in love with this, I'm gonna get more in the next time, or I'm just coming for more. That also gives us the opportunity to have a larger or a broader menu that we can just address more elements into a small menu itself.
Yep.
And I love that, because so I've been to Cumbia twice. I'll use my 2 experiences because they were both kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum. First time I came in, I'm looking over the menu and there's, 15 or 16 dishes, and I'm just like, I want all these, but I can't. I'm one person, so I got two dishes. Absolutely love them. The patacones are phenomenal. I would recommend those to anyone. I saved that picture on my phone because I love them so much. But I had to tap out after 2 because that's all I could eat. The next time I came with 2 other people, and yeah, we ordered probably 7 or 8 dishes. We got drinks, and we got to try a lot more of the menu, and I had less of that ordering FOMO because I'm just like, yes, now I got to try the cheese empanada. I got to try the ceviche. And it's fun to like eat with people and be able to compare and share your experiences and say like, oh, I'm picking up this flavor. Are you getting that too?
Yeah.
So I love the idea of tapas. I want to talk about Latin American cuisine. If somebody, because there's not a lot of places in Omaha to get that, so most people aren't very familiar with it. Mm-hmm. When you guys look at your menu and the food that you serve, what are kind of the defining characteristics? What are the flavor profiles, the ingredients, the things that people can expect as kind of like a through line through your menu?
I think Latin America, it's so diverse. So what you can expect is diversity.
Yeah.
So you will find profiles from the sweet side to the sour side to the salty side. Like you can get almost any kind of flavor profile. So we're not determined as like Thai or Indian that you go kind of straightforward to one specific profile. We are just trying to get a broader spectrum from different countries. So that's why we're not focused just in Colombia or not focused, in Brazil or in Peru. Like Peru, for example, Peru is more anything you get in life, whatever you have tried, if you get it in Lima or in Peru, it's better.
It's
I promise
delicious.
you that.
Wow.
That's
Their cuisine is just
it's
amazing.
amazing. Like I just going to Lima and try different restaurants. It's probably one of the best experiences in my life. Like it's absolutely stunning. Defining Peruvian cuisine is the same thing. You have so many different altitudes from the sea to the mountain. So they have, I think it's over 4,000 so different types of potatoes, and they have like 700 that edible. So
Holy smokes.
they have different flavor profiles on that, but also they have so much good fish. They have a lot of Nikkei influence from Japanese culture that came in, but also they have a lot of Chinese exposure with the chaufa. So they have the rices, and you can expect some like a sweet sour, but also some fishy limey, and that's just from Lima. Just not even to Lima, just from Peru. But Colombia has the Caribbean side. It's quite sweet. The patacones are more Caribbean. But if you go to the mountains, it was more like a grain oriented. So it was beans and rice and a little bit heavier meals because our ancestors were more like having long distances to cover when they were like farming and anything. Mm-hmm. So they used to carry like these heavy meals that their wives prepare.
Because they needed energy to be able to walk long distance.
So you can expect a lot. Like if you go down to Argentina, you'll have really, really good meat, same as Brazilians.
So to answer your question, what we are bringing is that experience, and we are bringing those flavors. So when you are in Lima and you are getting that amazing ceviche, but you can also go to Argentina and you are walking and you just want to grab an empanada, that is exactly the experience that we are bringing to Omaha. The flavor can be quite different from the chimichurri from Argentina and the limey ceviche from Lima or Peru.
And even empanadas, for example, like Argentinian empanadas are more masa or flour oriented. Colombians are more like corn masa, so it's crispier, they're fried. And whatever sauce you use to accompany that can change the flavor profile completely. So our empanadas, for example, we have been changing or rotating the meat filling. So the last one we had was like a lomo saltado type of thing that's more Peruvian, that has like an oyster sauce, and it's more sweeter. It's a little bit sweeter than the one we had before, but we use like a criolla sauce or a very like natural from our country. It's more tomato, onion based stew that gives more like acidity to the plate, but this lomo saltado is more on the sweeter side. So we are not just offering like, oh, this is from Lima. So no, we are just trying to get, okay, we have patacones from the coastal, from the Caribbean, but we are using avocado, more like a guacamole type from Mexico, and then we're topping with some meat from Peru. So we're just trying to mix all those flavors and just giving a broader profile.
Yeah. So, for example, the patacones, you expressed that you really love them. And when you go to Colombia, you will find patacones. If you go to Cuba or Puerto Rico, maybe they will call it tostones, but we all share that love for plantain. In this case, green plantain. So it's a mix of.
And it's weird because people tend to think like, oh, plantain is sweet. Or plantain is.
Everyone thinks plantains are like bananas.
Yeah.
And they might look a little bit like bananas, but that flavor profile is completely different.
And the patacones are green plantains.
Yes.
So you pre-fry them, smash them, then you fry them again. It's funny because something we, not to say fight, but we had to get more accustomed to was, what is the word for that? Just to make like a local understanding of the textures and flavor profiles, because people get sometimes scared about new things. So we have had people that's like, patacones are weird, are chewy, and we're not expecting this. Like, yeah, it's because you're cutting the plantain thicker, and when you smash it, it doesn't go all the way through to make it like a chip. We do have plantain chips we use for the ceviche, because with the patacon itself, it will hide the ceviche profile so much. So we are just...
And it's great if they don't like it, at least they try it. And now they have the experience to say, oh, have you tried the patacones? Oh, those are too
me.
crispy, not for me.
Yeah.
At least they have now a place where to try.
Well, what has that experience been? I'd love to like get a little bit deeper into that experience been like for you guys in introducing so much new to Omaha. I mean, we're talking about a new service style in tapas. We're talking about a lot of new ingredients and flavors that people don't have a lot of opportunities to experience here. And I think that it's absolutely wonderful that you guys are bringing that and you're giving Omahans a chance to not go to Lima, but maybe they can get some of those flavors and some of those experiences.
That's the key.
Okay, yeah. Expound on that. What's the key? What was...
So not everybody has the opportunity to travel, right? So we are giving them the opportunity to travel through us. So if you are dreaming about a vacation, I would love to. It's February in Nebraska. It's snowing. There's a blizzard. Probably you would wish to be out of Nebraska, right? Okay, so you can come to Cumbia. You grab a mojito, and you see that it's snowing out there, but it's cozy and warm in Cumbia, and you can just start grabbing that ceviche or that patacon. So you can imagine that you are out of the country.
It's kind of surreal because I think, and even giving a little bit of goosebumps, because one of the busiest seasons for us, it's winter, which people would think like, oh, winter in Nebraska will be slow for restaurants. I don't know for another ones, at least for us, is very busy, and it's because of that. People just walk in, get rid of their coats, and they are transported right away somewhere else. So that contrast with all the greenery and the plants and the light and the ambience and the music and the flavors, and we are trying sometimes even to reverse our flavor profiles on cocktails. So we have summer cocktails in winter. So people are like, what's going on here? And it's like, I feel I'm going right now to the beach, and we had for a while a tequila colada. So
I think it's coming. It should come back.
It's coming back. So people were like, this is like a beach on a glass, and that's the flavor we wanted to bring. Like we just don't want to give people it tastes like coconut, it tastes like pineapple. No, we want them to relate that to this tastes like beach, this tastes like
vacation,
like the wind, like the breeze. This tastes like my moment in Cancun, or that moment when I went to this other place. And something we do quite often is we try to talk to people as much as we can in the place and just sharing their experience with our experience in combine. And we encourage people to travel. I think the more you travel, the more you crave for new things. And it's the unknown. And when you try a little bit of that unknown and that becomes like more familiar or known, like what else is out there? What else I should try? I have tried things that they were, to say, in a formal way or decent way, disgusting. But I lived in Spain a long time ago, and there were like some rural areas where they have these dishes like, oh my God, they just them can eat these. Romanians have great food, but also awful food. Like French cuisine has the same thing. Like you can find some things like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you say, it's like, why they eat this? And it's what you said before. Like it's the more you try, you can decide. I do like this, I don't like that. And one time we had someone in the place and says like, what is a chicharron sandwich? It's like, oh, it's a pork belly sandwich. Like, oh no, my kid doesn't eat exotic food. It's like, it's pork belly. So
it's bacon.
Yeah,
it's fatty bacon.
It's a thicker bacon.
But it was exotic for her.
Yes.
So to your point, we have been educating our customers or the entire community on our concept, our flavor, our team as well. We gather with the team sometimes at our house, and we start explaining and sharing experiences, and that is what gives the opportunity to people to, okay, I'm learning something new, something about the music. There's many, like for example, if we play salsa, where's salsa music from? Hey, there are 3 different cities that you can find salsa. The son cubano of Cuba is very different than the Cali salsa. And we start just sharing what we know. And I think that is what is keeping the concept not only about the food. The food is what starts the conversation, right? But it's a little more than that.
It's something that comes with that is also the challenge of finding your ingredients and finding the things you need to make your dish as close as you have it. And we have had people like, this doesn't taste like this. Like, well, I know we cannot be sometimes 100% like truly to something because you cannot find the exact ingredient, but we are just trying to getting you in the profile, and also explaining people, like, for example, piloncillo or panela, which is a paste made from sugar cane, and you melt that to a point you create a solid paste. But then it's similar to the brown sugar, but doesn't have that deep burnt flavor as the brown sugar.
More natural.
So we use that for cooking, and we use that for some syrups in the bar. So that's why you can find like a different flavor profile really deep into the drink, not just like demerara syrup or something simple as a regular white refined sugar syrup. So we try to explore not just in the kitchen, also in the bar. Like for us, something we're proud of is just to use high quality ingredients in the bar. We want to bring people what we would like to drink, like not what we offer because we are going to make money. It's because if I'm going to some place, I become very critical of that, because I do like, not the place itself, it's like whatever I'm getting as an experience and what I'm expecting to get as a customer with that experience. So I love that. I think we have a great team behind the bar and great team behind the kitchen, and we treat them as family. We, like Andrea was saying, we cook before anything is out of in the menu in Cumbia. We cook before with them. Like we cook at home. We have some gatherings with them. We have gatherings with friends. We expect, and you're probably going to be invited too. So we cook at home,
yes.
And we like honest reviews from our friends. So anything you're seeing there has been tested before on us. We are our own guinea pigs with our friends, and we love honest reviews before we're putting them out. Like we have had things that I think, oh, this is amazing. It's like, no, it's not that great as you think. You like it, but maybe just you, and
could be better.
Could be change this, add this, take that out, and it's normally really exciting. It's a whole thing. Like we love doing that.
Well, that plays into something perfectly that I wanted to ask you about, because as we're recording this, Grow Omaha and Chris Corey recently did a review on Cumbia, and he talked to you guys, and you guys had a quote in there where you said, "You are not chefs, but the dishes are born in your kitchen at home." And I guess you're kind of describing what that looks like now, but expound on that. Like, you're not trained chefs, and yet you're creating, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, you're creating food that's better than what a lot of chefs and who have that formal training in Omaha are putting out. Where does your inspiration come from with food? Like, what are your cooking backgrounds? How are you How are you putting out food like this? Like, it's incredible.
No, we had a couple places back at home before,
yes.
like for several years. So I particularly myself was really close to the kitchen. I didn't went to culinary school. I did have a couple classes of like mastering a knife or how to keep things in a fridge in a proper way, just like a basic techniques. But from traveling, we have tried, you name it, man. Like we try to go to the most weird places, and not like famous places, but also hidden places. We walk a lot. Like sometimes we just go, let's say Chicago, and just walk and try to find those hidden little spots that, yeah, of course you go to those big ones, shiny places that you get offered because they are either Michelin stars or whatever. We've been in really good restaurants in Miami, for example, that we have walked out like this was not what we were expecting. This was completely out of line. And you get reflections from it. Like, for example, we went to this place and we asked the server. She was offering us a drink with whatever. And it's like, what is this? It's like, I don't know. And for us, it was like, okay, maybe our guys will answer that. We don't want them to don't know. So we try to explain ingredients, where they're coming from, why we're using them, why we are using in that way that certain ingredient, and why not a different one. And we get like feedback and stuff. But to your question, that I get deviated quite fast.
I love deviation. Deviate as much as you want, man.
We go, we try and try and try and try. And I can keep saying try like 50 times. We try and try and try, and we follow, and we go, and we taste we found, and that's probably advertising to them, but we have found a couple places. One in Miami is called Los Felix.
Yes, if you go to Miami, go to Los Felix.
It's a tiny spot, but it's so good, and it's Mesoamerican food.
And they are one of those few green Michelin stars in Florida. They are doing a very good job.
From there, like those little things, and then we went, when was that? Like last year, we went to DC, and we were going to different restaurants. And one time we were in a line to get into this famous restaurant, and we were just waiting, and we had a reservation, but we were still waiting. And then there was a little tiny spot on our left, and
it was not
that busy. And it's like, okay, let's get into here. And then later down, we found out that the chef, the pastry, it's a married couple. The pastry chef, she's Mexican. She was reviewed recently in Forbes, I think. And the guy, he's a French. And to me, that's probably the best restaurant in all the U.S. And like,
because that's also something that we do. When you see a place that is not that busy, we've been there before, and we know how hard that could be for a business owner. So we usually prioritize in that way. I'm like, okay,
let's give them a shot.
And we try, and you can be surprised that the things they have to offer. We have made mistakes too. It's like, oh my God, why did we came here? Like I said, in a high end and lower end, and that's where it comes from. Like we travel as much as we can, we try as much as we can. In our life, we have the blessing of working out of our country for a couple times, she and myself, and
it's also what we miss.
Yeah,
sometimes we are like, it wouldn't be nice if we have A, B, or C. Oh, yeah, there's nothing like that here in Nebraska or in the Midwest. Hey, let's develop something like that. So we try to create or to add items in the menu from our experience, or friends have told us, hey, we visited this country and we tried this. Could you guys explore it? And we have done that.
It's that, and sometimes when we meet something, we just cook it, and we just do it for ourselves, and we share with friends, and they keep asking us, like, when are you going to cook? When are you going to have something different? And her mom, actually, she comes here twice a year, and the only thing she loves to do is get you fat. Like, she loves to cook as much as she can, and she keeps offering you food and food and food, and so...
It's the way that she shares love. And that's the way that we grew up, like showing love through the food. So when we invite people over, it's because, hey, you are close to us and we want to share something that we do. And maybe sometimes it goes very well. Sometimes it's like the other day she made some frijoles, beans.
The beans, yeah. They got burned.
And they got burned because she used a different pot. And she was like, so disappointed. I'm like, don't worry, Mommy. They are delicious. Don't worry. Because if you don't eat her food, she will get it personal.
No, and when you were asking before, like, that we don't have... like a kitchen experience or training. That's something I was blessed when I came here to the U.S. and I worked for a second in a restaurant. So when I was just starting to get merged into community here and just to set your ground, and I'm an architect by trade, Andrea's an economist, and I was not working, well, we're not working in our fields. I work in a kitchen for a second, but was more to slow down from my life back at home in Colombia. And I worked for a second at Mula in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So in there, I learned a lot about like chopping tomatoes and chopping cilantro and chopping onion, to a point that her mom just like, can you just cut and make the pico de gallo, and I will do the rest because you chop so tiny. So we just tried to
He improved his skills.
Got
definitely.
The knife skills up
he got training. Yeah.
It's that. I think we've been blessed again into have a different kind of experiences. Like we love. I think people should look at their experience as something that it's making you grow every single time. The hard ones and the good ones are just making you grow. As time passes, you grow and grow, and the more you take that as a blessing, it's better for you. So we were just trying to get the same thing for us. Our place has been open for quite a second. It's like 3 years so far. We closed for a minute.
I think that we are going to talk about that.
You opened in October of 2021.
Yeah, correct. And we had 2 initial years that were okay, like a steady growth, but not like over killing growth. we close for a second. We reinvent the concept. We adjust a few things in the kitchen. We change a little bit the design in the space and just like organizing the flow. We got new team members that were more like oriented into growing the kitchen and growing the management.
Yeah.
And then we added more people to the bar part. And thankfully, this last year has been super exciting for us. Like the growth has been exponential. We are so thankful with Omaha community, and
we knew that the community was craving for something new, and it was there. We still have a lot of work to do, and I think that that is it's a cycle. Once you reach that point, no, you want more, and you taste something that didn't work. Okay, let's do it again. I think that when we closed, we had the chance to revisit what was good, what was not, what could we have done better, and we are still doing that.
We love improvement, so we love changes. We embrace the change. We're not afraid of changing. We are actually very thrilled about new challenges, new things, and right now Cumbia's formula is working really well, and we know that we can still add more. So right now what we're doing is the place is rolling in a really good way. So we are now more focused on to getting new items, getting new things. We're just trying to, or you're going to start seeing different bar techniques getting into the mix of the cocktails and expending more time into actually develop different, not just drinks, like different experiences.
And we are always open to suggestions. If you have seen something that you haven't seen it yet here in Omaha, please send it on our way, and we will try to make it happen.
And there's something else. I think Omaha has been exposed to so many things in the last few years, and it's not just from the cuisine. I think it's from everything. So people are more open to try, are more open to...
More people coming to Omaha after COVID. I think that also helps about that. Economic development has improved. Yeah,
it's the mix is different. That we like we say, we talk a lot with our customers, and we hear histories from. Do you remember the jet pilot that came here? Like, oh yeah, I come often to fly people in Omaha for meetings and whatever, and we developed a close friendship with him. He happened to have my same name. My full name is Juan Daniel, so his name is John Daniel, and we started getting along because of that, and we have been like going back and forth, exchanging spirits and experiences.
Because his love of rum, and
I love rum.
That's something that we love, and it started a conversation about what type of rum do you guys have here, and we started talking. Hey, we have this one from Venezuela, we have this one from Colombia, and we just started brainstorming about it, and maybe rum is something that not too many people. Have you tried rum?
Of course,
before?
I've tried rum. Yeah, okay. I mean, my experience with rum is probably pretty limited to what you could just go and find at Hy-Vee. So, I don't think I've tried the rums that you guys are talking about. But yes, I've tried.
Yeah, and sometimes we have asked customers, "Hey, have you tried rum before?" Never. So we give them the chance.
It's rum, aguardiente, vice.
There's
many
so many spirits.
So many different spirits from Latin America you can try, and we're working on something.
Pisco. Actually. Pisco, for example, maybe someone have visited Peru but never have tried the pisco from Chile. Yeah. We develop like two cocktails so people can try the difference.
Yeah, we have a Chilean pisco cocktail and a Peruvian. It's more like a pisco sour, and the other one we call it a Chile martini.
Chile martini.
Which is like Chile. It's the original word for Chile. Like it's more how they spell it in the indigenous. So I don't know. We try to find the actual reason behind a dish, the actual reason behind like why the culture was pursuing that profile of flavor, why the roots offered them that, like why did they go over that potato instead of the other one. Like I said, it's limited here because we just have like Yukon yellow potato and a couple of few, like no more than 10, and we have to work around that. But man, flavors. Mexico is so full of flavor. Like people are just tacos and burritos. That's just a street food. There's so many beautiful, delicious things.
And we recognize that we have many good places, Mexican places here in town. So we don't dig that much, or we don't include that many dishes from Mexico in our menu. But here and there, one one another.
And you know what? Something we do understand, it's like we want to, when we were talking about kind of breaking it down to Omaha particularly. So people won't go easily to get a tinga or to get like a sope because they will get scared from something beyond tacos sometimes. But if you can get a really good taco, let's say with a blue corn tortilla, and then you use a different kind of meat, like you can do a cochinita pibil or something different that you can give the different flavor into a simple form. We try to do that too. Like we would just try to break it down so you can try and you can say, okay, I do like this. This is not how you eat it, but this is another way to eat it, so you can try the actual flavor profile of it.
Yep.
I think a great example of that, and maybe it's not a perfect example, but a menu or an item you guys have on the menu right now, you have picanha tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Picanha is a cut of beef that is not super popular. It's delicious. I absolutely love it, but you're not. I mean, we can probably count on one hand the amount of restaurants in Omaha where you're going to find that cut. So if you just put picanha steak or steak bites or whatever on the menu, a lot of people probably aren't going to order that. You put steak taco on the menu, boom. Now you open the door, you give someone something that they recognize, and they're like, hey, I've had tacos before. All of a sudden, they're trying picanha steak, and they're just like, what is this, and where has it been all my life?
Yeah.
I think that's something that you guys do so well through this concept, is you just kind of, you open that door, and you encourage people, yes, if you just want to come in and have a good meal, you can get that. But you can learn here. You can learn about cultures. You can learn about different rums. You can learn about, like, cumbia. Why is it called cumbia? Oh, well, it's actually this dance that is associated, with all these different countries, and there's history in the slave trade. Like, even just what you guys have told me in this conversation, I feel like I'm just swimming in new information. It's so incredible. But I think that's so cool. Have you guys intentionally thought about that? Like, our restaurant, we don't want this to just be a restaurant. We want it to be a place to learn, or is that just kind of how your personalities have played out?
It's more that. I think it's more that. It's a funny story. I love reading. I love reading from anywhere. And we have this big, it's like a vinyl cut in our window. It's in Spanish, and it's the first paragraph of a book, well-known book. It's called Rayuela, from Julio Cortázar. And
Julio Cortázar is an amazing.
He was what is the
writer, author?
Yeah, but he won something like Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Oh.
I forgot about the prize. But long story short, a well-known filmmaker from Omaha was passing by the street, and Alexander just passed by. He was going to Mercury, and he came back. It's like, he's the owner here? I was like, yeah. And it's like, mucho gusto, Alejandro. So he spoke to me in the most perfect Spanish I've ever heard. Happened that he went to our home country, our hometown, and he did his master's degree there.
To my
something
university.
with his thesis, and we started talking about that. And it's like, just a person that likes something out of the box, had the the reckless idea of put something in Spanish in the glass, and some will be curious, some will not. But just that as a conversation starter. Also, our friend Alfredo, he was just driving by. Our logo, the Cumbia logo, we have this hat that the cowboys type of thing in our plains in Colombia. They use that because it gives a lot of shadow. It's called sombrero volteado. So that, when you look like an aerial view of that sombrero, that's Cumbia's logo. And
those circles.
And this guy, he's from the coast of Colombia, and he was driving
Sorry
by.
interrupting you there. You can see it if you are facing our bar. On top, on right side of the TV, we have one there.
Yeah, we
The
have
original.
one. The original hat. It was a friend's gift. But he was passing by and stops like, is this a Colombian place? Like, no. Why do you have sombrero volteado? It's like, this is a cultural appropriation. And then we walk out like, dude, we're Colombians too. Chill out. And all those little elements that we're just trying to bring together, and that's us. It's like the same, because I know you're going to ask that at some point, like the bike thing. Like, a lot of people say, why do you have a bike hanging from the roof? And that was not even intentional. That was a joke among friends that they was just playing with my old bike and they just hang it from the ceiling. I was not using it that much. I was trying to one of the friends that helps us to build the space, he's a pro trekking. He's not trekking. He's a trial bike thing. He's a champion in South America, and he helped us to build the space. And as a gift, he was making my bike work again. But as a joke from the other friend, Raul, he just hung it from the ceiling. It's like, well, I guess I'm not going to use the bike anymore.
It looks gorgeous there. Just leave it there.
So it's that. I think all our space is just around stories. Like we were just trying to get.
And it's also Cumbia is our baby. We don't have babies still, like working on that. We have Cumbia, and as a small business, I think that we give it the opportunity for improvement all the time. So hopefully we will be around long enough, and we will talk in 10, 20 years maybe about how it started and all the changes that it had. And it's an evolution of our personality, our growth. Sometimes he's just scrolling and saying, oh, look what is on the market. Maybe we can get it. And that's how things happen.
Yeah, we buy things, and I don't know. I like it's something I'm passionate about. Like I work in an architectural firm here, and I love what I do. But going to Cumbia, it's something that I feel passionate on. Like the cooking part, the organizing things, the kind of like clearing the flow in the kitchen, and sometimes running the food
and also the ugly, because running a business, it can be tricky sometimes.
For sure.
This week, we stopped by to drop off some
sanitizer.
Yeah, because the team needed. Hey, we ran out of it. We have it in our storage. Let's drop it. And then suddenly, it's a good problem. Thanks God. The team got very busy. And he asked me, like, are we going home? I'm like, no, let's wait. Let's 5 minutes. I'm like, roll your sleeves, get into
We're working today.
Yeah, you are the dishwasher tonight. I'm running food, and boom, boom, boom is how
we love it. Like we don't feel any time that's something excruciating or anything. We love doing it. So you will see us sometimes saying hi and chilling. Sometimes you will say, hey, hi, and just running with a tray. That's what we do, and we love it actually.
Yeah.
Andrea, you mentioned growth and improvement, and I want to touch on that. And you guys referenced this earlier, but I want to get a more full understanding. So Cumbia opens in October of 2021.
Yep.
In November of 2023, you announced that you were closing the restaurant. And I remember at the time, I had the understanding that was permanent. I didn't know that you guys were coming back. I didn't know if the thought was that you were going to come back, but actually the following May, so May of 2024, May 28th, is when you announced, hey, we're back. Mm-hmm. We're here again.
Yeah.
That is very uncommon for restaurants. Usually, restaurant, if it's struggling, it either rebounds and figures it out, or it just closes. You don't normally see that closure, a little bit of a break, and then, oh, hey, it's back.
Yeah.
What caused you guys to close the restaurant originally?
Yeah.
And then what changes and improvements did you have to implement before you reopened it and kind of realized what Cumbia is today?
Yes. Well, again, running a business is not only about having a good concept. Sometimes it's also what is behind. The accounting, the partnership, the legal. You have to be an expert in marketing now. So there's a combination of items. In our case, it was just an issue in a partnership that didn't work out. And we decided to press brakes and solve the situation. In the process, we also learned that it was not about the business itself or the products that we had in mind. So we thought that we were going to close permanently at that location. And we did it so for almost 8 months. And then when we decided to reopen, people or our close friends asked us, hey, are you going to keep the brand? And we thought about it. I'm like, okay, or should we move out of this location with a different brand? That was also on the table. And we said, I think that people know us and knows the brand already. introducing a different brand, a different location. If we are, because the landlord gave us the opportunity to stay there, we saw it as an opportunity. And we decided, you know what? All the items that we need to check, at least we have those that are already like known for the community. Let's just take it as an advantage and let's focus on what is spending. So I think that's how it started.
And I think when we announced the closure, and I think that was also in Grow, if I'm not wrong, we were looking for a second location, for a location to move out. And initially we were just like thinking, okay, let's open somewhere else, either Cumbia or something else, but let's open somewhere else. And the landlord came back, like, hey, we love you in here. Like, let's work this out.
We hate to see the situation happen because nobody wants that, right?
So we talk it out, talk it through, and we saw it as a moment for, get some introspection and review what we can improve, not just into our partnership, also into our menu, into our drinks, into what we were reflecting, into our design flow. We made a few adjustments in design as well at that time. We changed the bar a little bit. We changed. We saw the things that were not working inside our setup that we had the time to address, and so that's
little changes like the furniture, things that we improved the bar setup. For example, we needed some plumbing work to happen to make the bartenders job easier.
We didn't have much space, but we need a second station, so we had to rearrange. And that bar is designed to the 1/8 of an inch. So it's like super. Everything is just right in place, and we're using the minimums because we don't really have. Cumbia is not huge. Cumbia is 1,700 square feet, and we are fitting like 48 people inside and 20 so in the patio. And patio is not all the time, so restrictions here weather-wise, people will think, okay, you can open patio from April to October, which is not true. When summer hits, it's too hot. Like, you cannot use the patio. So you do have, we'll say, probably 10 weekends that you can use the patio if you're lucky. And sometimes that limits the either investment or the reflection of you outside on a patio. We are working on a couple ideas for the patio for next summer, I will say.
Yeah.
It's going to happen probably late this fall. But downtown is... I had a conversation one time with Holly. Like, she said, each block from Old Market, it's a mile. That's the perception that realtors have about downtown. So the farther you are from Old Market, it's the more abandoned you are from downtown. And it's true and not true at the same time. I think Orpheum District, it's getting consolidated. I think Green Room, Mercury, Wicked Rabbit, just to name a few, Monarch, Cattle Call now as an addition, Block 16. Now people have few places to choose. And I think when you can give the customer opportunities to choose and say, okay, this is too full, I'm going there, or I just want to have a drink, I'm just going to here and get some tapas and get back to this. And I can try different things and just hop from different places. The more opportunities, the more options you have, the better for a district. And I think even though
the area is changing, it's very nice to see people now parking and just walking by and finding different options. I think that's great.
Initially, it was more like Orpheum days, and you have an Orpheum show and you are packed. And then what about the other days? Now, it's great when there's Orpheum show, but it's also great when there's no Orpheum shows. So, and I think it's not just for us. I think it's for everyone. You can see.
I cannot wait to see how this, with the street cart and all the construction going on in downtown, how that's going to change the city as a whole.
So, as we wind down here, I mean, we have had so much great conversation. We've barely even gotten into like the history of the restaurant and you guys' inspiration behind starting it and everything. I mean, you're just such a fantastic conversationalist. Like, this has been so much fun. I would just love for you to, like, when you reflect back and you look at the things that you've brought to Omaha, the things that you've learned, what you initially wanted Cumbia to be into what it's evolved into, like, what are your emotions? Just what are your thoughts of this place when you think about Cumbia? What makes you most proud?
I think that diversity would be the top. You just mentioned the hanger block, and I think that they opened our path. Seeing that España is coming as a pop-up at Alcurant very soon, it's because now the community is more open. I believe that I was not expecting to be in front of something completely new and needed to educate and being this patient on introducing new items and explain why and what is that coming. Originally, that was not something that I thought that I needed to do, and we did it, and we are actually enjoying it. When we have people visiting from Chicago or New York, and they're like, yeah, Kansas is one of the places that we get sometimes people that come just to visit us and drive back, and they're like, maybe we have seen A, B, or C there, but this is interesting. That I love that. That was unexpected. I didn't believe that was going to happen. What do you think?
Getting again to Hunger Block, like we know Carlos, we know Rodney, team, Ben, like we know all of them. And having this conversation with Carlos one time over the shadow, a couple of drinks, and saying like, okay, at the time I had España, I think Omaha was not ready for sharing, right? And I think España is a lovely example. And every time we can just or either gather or just go there to have whatever they have because we love their food. And we love Carlos personally. Like it's a really close friend of ours.
Carlos Mendez. He's
so dude.
He owns a couple different concepts in Omaha, but one of the most wonderful humans you'll meet.
He's a great person. So, but getting back to your as a path, we love that. We love seeing the reflection of that. But to me, what I love about what Cumbia is right now, I truly believe that that's a reflection of who we are. So I feel so comfy when I go to Cumbia. Like even my mood changes. If I have a really rough day and I go there, I change. And she is like a witness of it.
Yeah.
I change. I feel relaxed. Even though it gets busy, I don't really care. Like I don't get mad or anything around that. I just relax. And I like what we have there. I like it's like a place where we can go and unwind. And sometimes I even just take my computer and just work from there.
And maybe I'm being a little romantic, but I think that people change, right? I'm not the same when I first moved to this country, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So the business, I think that is showing also that growth, how comfortable now we are in Omaha, in this community, and how comfortable we are introducing new stuff. At the beginning, we were more shy. We were still learning how many vendors we have, who is selling what, where can I find this item. We needed to be humble and understand that it's a learning curve. Then I think that there's still opportunity, and we are now dreaming, what about if we develop this other concept? And my mom is like, no. You guys are starting this conversation again.
We have a couple of ideas on the table, but also something we have learned is if we cannot get it, we have to go out and get it. Like there's so many different sources we can get out of state that we are exploring right now into flavors, ingredients, items, spirits, like tools, like so many things that we cannot find here. And we are bringing those not just for us. We're just trying to share as much as we can. And you will be hearing news from us probably soon regarding that.
Well, I'm excited about that. And I want to thank you guys because, you talked about this we've mostly focused on the positive in this podcast, but running a restaurant is not easy. And running a restaurant that's introducing so much new to Omaha is not easy. But even just from a personal level, I've experienced dishes and learned history at your establishment that I never might have experienced in my life. Like, I hope I get a chance to go to Lima someday. I probably never will. But now I can at least, I've had that door open to me where I've experienced some of those flavors and I'm like, okay, people in Peru are eating good. So I just want to thank you guys for being bold and taking that step. And even when you had to close the restaurant, not permanently closing the restaurant, but saying, no, this is a good idea. Omaha needs this. We're going to fight for it.
Yep.
I think that that's so important. And I thank you guys for for doing that. I think we set a record today, the least amount of words I've ever said on the podcast, and I love it. Thank you so much, guys. Like, you are such amazing conversationalists. You have so much knowledge. You have so much passion. People, if you have not been to Cumbia, get to Cumbia. Like, I'm excited just thinking about it right now because of the passion that you guys have for not just food, not just flavor, but bringing people together and teaching them new things. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the podcast today. This has been an absolute joy.
Thank you for having us. It's great to share stories. It's something that we enjoy, and if you gave us the opportunity, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Omaha, as always, thanks for eating with us.